Hey everyone, it's me, Tim Motyka here. It's New Year's Eve, Rockin' Eve. The ball drop is going to be on NBC News for the next few hours. At midnight, you get about a few minutes to midnight is the best time to turn it on. I think you should probably watch many more of the beginning and middle of it, and the ending as well. Good. We're going to be partying up all night long to celebrate the kickoff and celebrate the new year of 2018. Yay! Yay! Oh, yeah. Well, as you can see, it's 2018, and well, it's almost 2018, and it's just, this year has been a decent year for me. It's been a pretty good year. I mean, I got out of high school in June. I did my last year of my summer job and had a lot of fun at the STAR program. I started DDI. I got my new job at Walgreens in Riverhead. So, I went to Walt Disney World. It's been a pretty good year. I mean, it had some very, it was crummy to begin with, to tell you the truth. Kind of crummy to begin with. Until April, at least. Then it became good. It became really good. By the time I had to go to by the time it was time to go to the Disney trip. I still, well, as you can tell, and I had so many good years. I mean, there are things about this year I wish that I could have done better and everything like that. There are things that I actually wish I could have, get off my, there are things I just wish I can get off my chest that I have a lot of trouble getting things off my chest. I know that I have things, or something, it's just that I have things that get on my mind all the time. I know that sometimes people say that you shouldn't let that get to you. Well, I'm sorry, but I just can't control itself sometimes. I just sometimes just can't get certain things off my chest. I mean, how people treat my people and stuff like that. I mean, and I'm sorry, it's just that these are just my opinions. I'm gonna post them I post these on social media anyways because I want to actually get things out. Yeah. People, I'm not a very well understood person. Sometimes because of how people treat not just me but my people in general. There have been times like this year and many years before that people I sometimes have trouble getting along with people. That's pretty much the main reason, because people don't really have any respect for me or any part of my system. I mean, people, whether it's in person or anywhere in person or on the internet or in my own head even. People seem to come after me for my opinions, my beliefs, my views, my political and religious scenarios. Things that I have fandom for, including my childhood nostalgia. I have things that I think should be right and wrong, and truth and opinions and lies and stuff like that. The fact I'm autistic and my bisexual orientation, and it's just that. What the heck is their problem? I mean, their lives are just so. They think they're so much better than everyone else that they just like to take them out on other people, and just, especially on the internet, just trying to get the best of them until they just like to do something to themselves until they to do something wrong. It's just freaking sad. It's just freaking sadistic. How can people find enjoyment on emotionally and verbally hurting another person? How can, and sometimes even, yes, sometimes people even do it physically too. why will people actually just pick on another person for their differences or the things that they did wrong and they don't, or the people they just don't like, and then see them get hurt or get into trouble or whatever, and just go, you know, I just think it's wrong. I just think it's bad. But I just have like so many great memories of the years of my life, and I have good ones and I have bad ones. You can't really have good without the bad, so you know what? When I bring things up, I'm just gonna bring them up. Like sometimes, look, these are just my opinions, and I have the right to post and talk about them and stuff. And it's just some things I just can't get off my chest, and I just have to talk about it. Okay? So, yeah, the thing is, the main years of my life, like, you guys, before I tell you this, this year, especially during the holiday season, hasn't felt as exciting until like the actual holidays came around. I did have like great times at parties and stuff like that, like Christmas parties and everything, but it's just it wasn't the same as it was when I was like 8 years old. And it's also not just because of me, but also because of the lack of variety stuff is going on nowadays. Huge lack of variety, and the lack of quality with entertainment and everything like that. And some things that happen to me, and things I have to keep in schedule, and what to worry about, what to do, and what not to do, and stuff. I'm a busy man, but I actually do need to I'm actually just, since it's the New Year's, I'm actually gonna talk about the best years of my life, which I think were the best years of my life so far. And this is the years when I thought that I didn't have anything to worry about. And yes, it was because I was little, mainly because I was little and everything like that. But from the year I was born up until 2002, man, those were just such great years of my life. That's just it. I missed the 90s and very early 2000. I missed the 90s and early 2000s decade. And it's like memories just sometimes make me feel nostalgic for them. I just want to sometimes there are times I'm just glad that I had those years in my life. I love those years. Those were some great times. It started off from the date I was born in, from when I was on October 7th, 1995. And the first year, I hardly remember because I was only a baby. I remember doing some things like taking my blanket and doing my toys and everything like that, and going. I used to love those days. I remember doing that in many different ways a lot during those years, during that first year of my life. Of course, and even though you're gonna think this is weird, I don't remember everything from every year, so I'm gonna keep that in mind, including this one. I don't remember everything that happened this year or everything that happened like the year before and everything. So I'm gonna just say things what I think would happen as well, not just what I know would happen, but what I think would happen. And so don't take it personally. But but back to the topic. I mean, I actually remember my very first birthday. Everyone was there for me. Families, some baby friends I had because I was a baby, everything like that. I think, and this is the first one. I think I had a character go like a baby show character come to my party. My first birthday party. I don't remember exactly. I was only a baby then. That's the first one. It doesn't mean it actually happened. I just think it happened. So I don't remember everything. On my, okay, especially because it was my first birthday, so I don't remember. Second, yes, second year around, it was. I was. I actually was 2 year when I was 2 years. The second year in 1997. I kind of remember. I actually remember like just. I remember like just. We would actually. My family will have like very great traditions. Like we will decorate very well for Halloween and for Christmas and Easter and Valentine's Day. We'll put up like on Christmas we'll decorate the house, of course. On Thanksgiving, like we went to my aunt Lillian's house, especially. And for Christmas, like we'll do Christmas Eve every year, and we'll do Christmas morning with my dad's side. It'll be my mom's side of the family on Christmas Eve. Then on Christmas morning, my dad's side of the family will come for breakfast. And I think I vaguely remember, but I think I remember, sort of remember. Like I remember all the great music during my first 2 years of my life. I actually, which was like in the 90s, 1995 through 97. I remember, of course, all the stuff that happened, all that came out with the music and everything. The music, the stuff that was out since the late 80s, early 90s. All the teeny bop music that was like upbeat rhythm, techno rhythm with a high pitched screaming and rappers and stuff like that. Of course, I remember the music videos on MTV. I vaguely remember this one, but I had a nasty babysitter named Grace who my dad took me out because she was not a nice person. But I do remember like all the entertainment that was. I remember seeing and dancing to like Barney the Dinosaur when I was only 2 years old. My dad has it on video. They were teaching me how to talk and walk a lot. I remember playing out in the yard and everything like that. Just everything. I befriended the next door neighbor named Jenna and her two sisters, Caitlin and Brianna. We started hanging out after that. We would have green frog candies, and we would actually. Sometimes my dad would start teaching me how to ride a tricycle. I did well with the tricycle, but I had a really hard time. Sometimes I did well, and I think sometimes I did well, and sometimes I kept messing up with riding the bike when I got older. But back to that year, to '97, I just actually remember that. I remember like going to Rocky and Bullwinkle's when it was actually had more games and rides, and it was more interesting. I loved going to Rocky and Bullwinkle's. I would go to my family's houses, like we would, and then we would actually sometimes watch sports. I had fantasizes of watching sport, of being into sports. I remember having a toy basketball teams. I mean, like a little stuffed basketball in that year. Drawn on the driveway, on drawing and writing on the driveway, playing through the sprinklers. And for the first time, and I actually remember reading children's books and everything. And when I learned to talk, my dad videotapes me talking. I said, "Can I have that camera?" I don't know if I was 2 or 3, but I think I was 3 at least. But that's not until next year. I remember turning 3 that year. I loved going to McDonald's and Burger King and everything like that. I loved chicken corn blue, but that was pretty much one of the only things I actually ate. I actually used to also eat pasta and pizza too. My dad told me that I only ate chicken corn blue. My mom only told me I ate chicken corn blue, but I also ate hot dogs and pizza and pasta. And for the most part, I would usually have the pizza and hot dogs like cut up. I remember like I used to love hanging out on the deck, especially with my new next door neighbor friend Jenna. We would actually play and we'll actually have a snack pull out, and sometimes days the bugs will get it because we haven't ate it. We would play on the playset, sing songs, and then I started at St. Charles like the year later. In 98, I think 98, I think a year later, in 98 at least. I remember 98, it was just, I got more into the entertainment that was out, and especially the stuff that came out in the past. I remember the clothing commercials. I remember, like, playing outside on my playset and everything like that. On the slide and everything. We used to go to the park and play, and to the beach and swim, and as well as my family members' pools and stuff. Like, I would draw a lot. I got into music immediately. I loved music since the beginning. I love movies, especially with the comedy films and stuff. All the animated films that came out in the 90s. I loved the cartoons. I loved cartoons. I loved Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, Disney. I remember like that. I remember like doing like we'll actually be touring. My teacher and I will be touring around the St. Charles preschool, and my grandpa will sometimes will sometimes pick me up. Other days the bus will take me to my babysitter Linda's house, and other days my parents will pick me up. And every time we went out to recess, the bells of the Sacred Heart's Catholic Church will ring, and man. And sometimes my grandpa will pick me up. We'll have to go to Carvel, or go to McDonald's, or some days, and some will go to Sometimes we'll go to Carvel, and sometimes we'll go back to his house and we'll play with the wooden ducks that he made, and we'll actually take cans and I'll pretend I'm playing the drums. If I go to my Aunt Susie's house, sometimes I will play with my cousin Matthew's drum set. Oh yeah. 97 through 98 really had it going on. I actually just felt like I really had no problems at all. Everything I did on my dreams, I had several dreams, especially with entertainment. I loved all entertainment since the beginning, especially since I was 2 years old at least, and in 97. But you want to know something? It was just 98. It was just 90. The first 2 years of my and 90, and I remember Christmas that year. I remember one time I got like a toothbrush, like a Poe toothbrush, and a Sesame Street alarm clock and everything like that. And when I went to my Linda's house, I had a friend there that actually had Nintendo 64, and I would watch them the first year at least, playing on the PS1 and Nintendo 64. I would actually watch it alone. Sometimes my grandpa would pick me up, or my mom would pick me up. We would play out in the cool weather or in the summer weather. I remember one time, and in '99, it got even. In 1999, I actually just remember all the shows on Nickelodeon that came out. SpongeBob came out. I remember when SpongeBob came out. Man, he was very cool at the time, and it was cool through the 90s, and it was very cool during the 2000s decade. People say after the movie he went downhill, but I don't think so. Until at least the 2010s, but in a way he was still kind of cool to this day at least. I love SpongeBob. It was one of the greatest ideas Nickelodeon had. According to me, I love the Amanda Show. I had a thing for Amanda Bynes. And I used to remember around the holidays from 98, 99, and 2000 and stuff. Britney Spears would come on with her dog, her golden retriever dog, with a Santa Claus hat, and wishes everyone a happy holidays, as well as many other celebrities. I remember Christina Aguilera and NSYNC. I remember going in 98, 99, just waking up, going there, having the snack, and everything like that, and playing with the toys there, and just lying down. We'll watch the movies the Disney movies, or Disney Channel sometimes, or Nickelodeon movies, or we'll watch other movies too, comedy films, and sometimes even The Brave Little Toaster. I loved the trilogy of The Brave Little Toaster. Nickelodeon actually had all these slime shows and messy game shows and stuff. I just look forward to watching it every time I got home. I remember the commercials like like the Crash Bandicoot commercial with Pizza Hut. Turn the pizza around. It's stuffed crust. You eat it backwards. The stuffed crust. I remember some of the commercials with Mario and Sonic and everything like that. The 90s were awesome. You know, I just love the 90s. And can't you believe all these memories? Most of them are coming right now. A lot of them are coming from the 1990s. I have like over 2,000 memories of my first 5 years of my life in the 90s. And that's why I like to call myself a 2000s kid, the 90s kid over, because I have much 90s kid experience. I have the 90s. I think the blood still runs. I really do think the blood still runs in me. Damn, I can't stumble over words like a 5-year-old. Sorry about that, folks. But you want to know something? I remember also one time when did have some like issues with using, but well, you know what? Many little kids have these bathroom issues, whatever. I'm not gonna go on about that. But you want to know something? I remember waking up one in the afternoon on the couch and on the deck of my babysitter Linda's house, and she showed me there was a few birds' nests. Heck, we even took walks around the village. Even her and her daughter, I think Shannon, would play guitar. Yes, and Colleen, and there was a girl I knew through elementary school years of Sag Harbor named Colleen. I liked her. And there were twins named Abby and Natalie who were there. They would actually sometimes treat me with respect, and other times they would just be overly playful and just beat me up and stuff like that. With many other kids, there were like a few toddlers there and a few preschool age kids who up to like the age of 6 at least. They would even have, and I remember one of those times like there was like this African American dude. I forgot his name. But that was at Linda's, and when she was there, when he came out, I remember him saying to her, "Mama," and then she would go, God, get a job or something like that. I know they were kidding around, but I just remember it was kind of funny. And I think she actually got a pool there at the time, too, after a while. I do remember there was a bumblebee and flower sprinkler she had. And this play set, I used to and you know, I also, in the sandbox, like underneath the play set, we used to make like pretend we were making cakes and stuff in there. I liked baking and cooking at the time, too. And we also did some gardening right in a little fenced off area there. And I had some dreams like in '97 I kind of like we also had a house fire, and I stayed a few nights at my grandpa's house. And you know, like, and you know, like, I remember getting like a paintball thing with Cupid angels on it, but like a paintball, it's a paddle ball. Oh, stumbling like a 5-year-old again. I'm sorry, but you want to know something? I kind of like just remember those days. It was just great. And let's see here. I think I remember also on certain days my grandpa coming with pizza. And on like certain like Friday or Saturday nights at least. It's my old house. On Sundays my Uncle Rob and Aunt Lillian will be there. And I remember going to their house, and I usually didn't eat a lot when I was little, so I hardly ate anything really. So I just really ate chicken corn blue or something like that, or some of the leftover foods that I did like. But you know, I just had so many great memories growing up. I remember like going out to eat at restaurants. I remember one time my grandpa and cousin Michael actually taking us to like the cemetery and stuff and out to eat and everything like that, and just a lot of great memories. So, you know, and 2000 came along. I remember like everyone was looking forward to the new millennium. Yeah, everything like that. It was coming along actually, but yes, I do remember some news reports, good and bad, from the '90s and everything like that. I actually do with many of the stuff that was going on in the world at the time, like Columbine and all that stuff. It wasn't really as happening as much often as it is now, but still. But let's not focus on those, shall we? No. Now, as for like 2000, I remember 2000 came along, and from 99 through 2000, I actually remember like going home from St. Charles, going to St. Charles, going home from St. Charles, recess, music room, some of the events we had. I remember one time we actually would go like we'd have like an event in the gym and everything like that, and we'll actually like and they'll be shooting like baskets and everything like that, like a little mini basketball game. We'll have like little certificates with Blues clues on them and stuff like that, like like little blue from Blues Clues on them, and we would just have all these memories. I'll just have like all this stuff going on. We'll have like parties. We'll have like a speech therapy, like an autism awareness carnival that happened that year in St. Charles. I watched a lot of stuff like Sesame Street. We actually had like the puppet TV shows with the puppet characters coming down, like, and people dressed up in funny, goofy costumes, and puppet characters and little animated characters will come out and stuff. I used to remember a lot of those like TV shows, and like I actually just remember all those good times. I remember playing with the toys, like the books that had buttons on them. That would make all the noises if you press one. Can't you believe that all this stuff is only coming from the '90s, and the first year of the 2000s, which was 2000. I mean, I remember graduating from preschool that year at St. Charles, and at times my grandpa would actually take me to the Sacred Hearts Catholic Church or some of the other churches and pray to Grandpa. He would actually, Grandma or something. Sorry, and we'll actually just hang out with other family relatives. I remember us having many get-togethers and stuff like that. Family get-togethers. In 2000, I remember start having a great summer. It was just a great summer. I had time with my friends and next door neighbors that I made in Sag Harbor, mostly Sag Harbor, but a few in Southampton. I met my best friend Mark there that year. Between those years of 98 and 2000. I think between 98 and 99 at least. We got very close. I remember me and him actually saying, because whenever I used to get mad, I would always think of TV shows and stuff with people going, "You," and I actually would say, "You, Timmy," and that's how Mark and I got close. Me and him were like, "You, Timmy." You, Mark. It was kind of funny. 1999, 98, 99, 2000. There were bullies like Christopher Shane, and he would actually bully me. Sometimes his sisters would back him up, but most of the time they were on my side. They actually treated me with a little bit more respect than he did. And I was with him through first grade at least. He lived in the same town as I did, Sag Harbor. Then I also have games I like to play besides like little games like Pajama Sam, Putt Putt, Freddy Fish, Spy Fox, and an airport game, and all from this little company called Humongous Entertainment. I love those games, and I just want always love to play those games. I played them up until at least 2003, 2004. We had Candyland, Blues Clues, Freddy Fish games, Putt Putt games, Pajama Sam, Spy Fox, something there. I forgot what his name was. I don't remember his name. I won't count that one. But also we'll have like an airport game with Buzz, Knowledge Bug, I think it was called. And you know, many of those games have pretty good public service announcement. I think my cousins even, I used to help them play with my Nintendo 64 and stuff like that with my cousins. Like, I think I did it at my babysitter, Linda's, as well. But all as well, I remember waking up from a nap and she'll have Judge Judy on or MTV on. They'll actually have like the famous boy bands and stuff that were out. I love the boy bands. When I thought the rock bands were pretty good too, and the hip hop stars were cool, were hip and everything, and hip and cool and everything. But you know, the boy bands, when I saw them, I thought they were like amazing. 5 teenage boys just dancing and singing to a great pop songs, and I was like, man, those guys are cool. A lot of kids agreed with me. A lot of teenagers and 20-somethings will probably agree as well. But you want to know something? I remember all the kids CD that were coming out, like of kids singing people's music and everything like that, singing and dancing to people's music. The commercials of them, especially with Kids Bop first starting around 2000 or 2001. You know, the first original Kids Bop album. Others will be like Kids Dance Party and Sugar Beats and so on. And the commercials with Lucky, you always ought to be Lucky Charms, and Trix yogurt and cereal and Honey Nut Cheerios, part of this complete breakfast. Kellogg's Fruit Loops and everything like that. Oh my god. So anyways, I had a great summer. I used to learn how to swim. I would actually learn how to swim like at my Aunt Susie's pool. I actually did like to swim, however, I was nervous of swimming in the deep end. I did with my parents, but I didn't when I was alone. My grandpa always helped me. I remember jumping into the water, and he would always tell and doing many tricks into the water, and he would always catch me at times. And not to mention the TV shows out too on Nickelodeon. There was Cat Dog. There was There was Hey Arnold, Rugrats. Sometimes I think I would catch Rocko's Modern Life, Ren and Stimpy, but there was SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron, Rocket Power, and Invader Zim, and stuff like that. I remember the bumpers and promos, the commercials, all the stuff like Nick Hotel, Nickelodeon Cruise Line, Nickelodeon Magazine, Nickelodeon Nickelodeon merchandise. I remember and you know, Cat Dog was like my favorite Nicktoon. I actually remember my Cat Dog very well because I actually thought Cat Dog was like the best one. I think they should have been like the '90s version of Rocky and Bullwinkle. They should have been that great. They were pretty great. They're legend to me. They're legends. Cat Dog, a cat and a dog together in the same body with a pesky hipster rat named Winslow, and the Greaser Dogs, just beating the crap out of them. Man. And it was adventurous too. It had moral compass. Well, this morality compasses, like moral compasses, and public service announcement, and everything like that. Not to mention my favorite heroines, the Powerpuff Girls. I thought they were pretty great too. I actually said one time, up until I was like 7 at least, that I wanted to marry them. I felt the same with Britney Spears too. She was like my childhood crush. You know, I liked Britney Spears. You know, and everything like that. And 2000, I remember starting kindergarten that fall. My mom was leaving me there. and I got a tour there at the, like, we used to call it the little school, and the high school the big school. Yes, we actually would actually go there. We would actually like, and I remember having lunch. We had popcorn, music time, and everything like that. We'll see what other kids. I made some other friends in Sag Harbor, not just the ones in my bachelor life. David Scalinger was a little bit of a bully at first. He was like, "It's not for you, Tracy Vaughn." I remember that. But after a while, me and him became very close. And I think, wrote to my friend Mark Rayner and kept in touch with him. I wanted to see him a couple more times. I think I did. But, when I started at kindergarten, like, I kind of liked it. I did the shape program. I used to stay after. We used to play in the playground or go into the gym. And my friend David and I will be close. We'll talk about the show with our friends. I remember a kid named Richie, stuff like that. Friends with my neighbor, next door neighbor friend Jenna. We would actually go into each other's houses. We would actually play with our toys and jump on the bed a lot and mostly in my room. But we would jump on the bed. We would jump on the bed, and we will actually listen to music while doing it. We'll even pretend with my grandpa that it was that the bed was actually a boat, and we'll actually ride on the boat, and I would actually save him from like a tornado. Or I'll do a concert here at my grandpa's house, which is now my house. This room that I'm in, which is now my apartment, used to be a family room when it was my grandpa's house, and then it became his apartment. He made this into his apartment, and redecorated and then it became my apartment, like our playroom for like when my sister was little. And we used to have little kids around here. Then it became my apartment. But back on topic. Then there was actually a lot more like stuff going on during those years. It was just happy times. I remember making a few Christmas ornaments for my parents. We still have them to this day. We're about to put them away now because the holidays are over, and we're gonna do it tomorrow on New Year's Day. And 2002, and like, I just had so many memories. I remember going to Morton Wildlife, playing on the backyard, fighting ninjas and cowboys and stuff like that. I think I played some baseball and everything like that. I loved Space Jam with the Looney Tunes meeting Michael Jordan. And so many of the Disney movies, I sometimes even keep a schedule of it. And in 2001, I kind of remember many things, like 2001, we kind of like, after I finished, right before, like, when holidays were over and everything like that, I remember during the holiday season, I remember Cartoon Fridays actually just having like a holiday special that year in 2000.
I'll tell you in a minute.
And we just had another great holiday season. We got more presents, everything like that. Santa Claus came to my house at the time. So on. All the other stuff.
No, you don't understand.
I remember like those times with Easter and Christmas with pretending that, well, not pretending, just hanging out with my family and some of my friends, and I remember just all these years in the past with believing it. I still, with all the stuff with believing in the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus and Easter Bunny, man, good times. And 2001 came along. I remember like celebrating things with my friends' birthdays. I remember my 5th birthday, and I went to one of those years, like either my 4th or my 5th birthday. I went to Boomers with my friend Jenna and stuff, and she would actually get scared and possibly sick on the rides. I remember the Bullwinkle show and how great some of the shows from the 20th Century Classics were. 2001 was like not that different then. It was a great year. I mean, my dad and I will actually pick up like a soda or a candy bar on the way home from school. I have made a few friends in Sag Harbor. I loved a lot of. I think I did some of the activities that many little kids do, like I think I won't remember, I know I didn't do all of them, but I think I was offered some of them and just didn't do it. Some, I think others I did though, but you know, those are just my opinions. 2001, I remember like in 2001, I just remember all the stuff. I do remember 9/11, but that's a bad time. I remember like I remember all the nights movie afternoons we actually did in Sag Harbor, like at in the Rumble in the Jungle when I was like 5 years old. I was like a part of like a jungle play. I was a chimpanzee. My dad came. I actually had a doctor's appointment after the party at my mainstream classroom. I did field day that year, and then we actually went to summer school. Went to the beach. We actually played with water balloons in the park. We actually just pelting each other with water balloons, and everything like that, and so on. Other thing, I stopped going to my babysitter Linda's in 2000, but it didn't really change that much in my 2001. 2002, yes, great, and stuff with more gaming and entertainment and everything like that. Loved playing outside, going to the park. I loved the fireworks shows that we did for 4th of July and stuff like that. And I remember going to Disney between 2000 and 2001. Great times. I love Disney. Those are the dreams. Those are like my dreams come true. We went once for Easter, and I kind of did a little bit of an Easter egg kind of around the hotel room. I didn't do the public one, but I think I should have done it. But hey, and then there was about 2 years in a row. Good years, good times. 2000. Halloween was great. Thanksgiving, Christmas again. I think Cartoon Network developed that year a little bit more. In 2001, prime time, all the babysitters had named Fran. She was kind of boring. I didn't really care for her that much. She had like another old lady that farted a lot. I don't really remember like going to Fran's house. But I remember the Spirit of Mickey and all the other Disney movies and shows that I watched. I watched some Disney Channel and stuff too. But after a while, we couldn't get Disney Channel for a while. In 2002, we kind of like in 2002 there was just. We actually were. It was another great year. I remember going to watch Nick, where you can pick your favorite shows and videos. But you picked Friday Jingle from Nickelodeon. David was seeing it with me, and my mom would actually have something like a scanner against the telephone called doing the phone and everything. I don't remember what. My friend Jenna and I would jump on the couches and stuff. But then after a while, her parents didn't want me around anymore. They blocked me off. I couldn't go anywhere. They started becoming prejudiced, and my parents put up a fence so we couldn't see each other again. And I was sad. I tried to, but it's just sad. I wish I could have stayed with my friend Jenna. I remember us seeing on the play sets and everything, and her put up the American flag. And we go to the carnivals and stuff. I love the carnivals, and I think carnivals were more entertaining at the time. Flying swings, the Ferris wheel carousels, the little roller coaster, and other rides and stuff. Games we used to call Cool Cotton Candy, even though it was called Cotton Candy. But in 2002, it was this thing with I did it without Jenna, but I still had David and a few friends, many friends in Sag Harbor, and a few in Southampton and stuff. I had a lot when I was in my Sag Harbor year. After a while, after it was a group. Well, I broke my arm the summer before in 2001, in the middle of it, and I had a limit on how much fun I can have with certain like things. But I remember going to like McDonald's with the tubes and Tanger Outlet Mall. That was, and this is like from '95 through 2002, all the way through the summer. At least it was a better summer in 2000 because I didn't have my broken arm like in 2001 by falling off the slide. And Stephanie didn't really see me doing it, but I spent a night in the hospital. At least it didn't happen in 2002. But had another one, a married babysitter named Kathleen McCarran, and she had a daughter named Mackenzie. I didn't really like it at first, especially because they stole a toy car of mine. I left it there, and I got a surprise in summer school, and then they kind of like got it in, and they kind of like kept it there for a while, and they claimed it was their own, and I told them it was not. So I tried to prove to my dad that it was mine and not theirs. So I didn't really like it there at times, but hey, we went to Chuck E. Cheese and stuff like that, which I loved. And we went to McDonald's, and we went to the beach, to the park, and everything like that. That's one thing I liked about. Some days we'll just stay at the house. But 2002 was the last. It was a great summer. That was my last summer in Sag Harbor. After all of those fun times that I had in those years in Sag Harbor from '95 through 2002, we had to go. Because that school year, it was the worst of when they didn't want my opportunities because they were actually prejudiced against the special needs community and some of the school board, and they didn't want me there, and they didn't. And my parents had a lawyer try to come in one time, and they just didn't work out. And eventually, many of the kids, including myself, left in November of 2002. I had my last birthday there. It was fun. We had a piñata. I remember Halloween, my last Halloween there. But halfway before Thanksgiving, I left. And we moved out of the house. We packed up our things. I left all my friends and people who treat my family as other family members at the time. We left those people behind. We still had the real family, but we still had left all those other friends of ours behind. And then I think a lot of them to this day forgot about who I was and if I'm okay, they probably forgot. Many of them probably forgot that I even existed. It's pretty sad. I didn't want to move, but I had no choice. I moved here to my grandpa's house, but I got to see him every day because he used to only come on Sundays to deliver bagels when I lived in Sag Harbor House. I moved here in 2002, and I had to get used to it because the school policies and the people there were different. I had more opportunities, a little more. I met some pretty good people. We had our laughs. 2002, I had a great holiday season that year, even though I was in a different town. And I wrote a letter to my friends in Sag Harbor every week, to everybody there. I stopped doing it eventually, but hey. And I had like a little ball that said back off on one side and hold me on the other, and I used to squeeze it if I get mad. 2002 was just a good year. It was. I got sent to the principal's office a lot that year, and kind of getting into trouble and stuff because I was used to like the ways of the other school district and the ways and me trying to get my way at times. But you want to know something? I liked it after a while. Halfway through the school year, especially with the gymnastics show, which I didn't like. I never saw one before, so I didn't want to go to one. Just so you know, I didn't really say everything. I did do some any other activities. I went to the circuses when I was little, and everything like that during those 2 years of '95 through '02. But hey, I just didn't. I don't want to bring everything up. But I have many memories like those as well, and that just to prove those years how great those years were. Those were like the best years of my life, and I hardly had any problems. I think my favorite sports teams and athletes won that year for their season, like of what was going on like during those years. I think I liked sport because I did like sports. My favorite athletes and sports teams actually won during those years during some of the seasons. But hey, I'm gonna get back to the top to like 2002. 2002, it was hard to get used to up through 2003 at least. 2003, I was just like I had a lot of trouble getting used to the school district and getting along with the people there. But I did eventually. Halfway through the school year, we actually started getting used to like the things that were going on in the school, and I just liked it. I just liked it. Good times after a while. I liked the end of the school when it was getting warmer out, and when June came along, it was time to get out of school. I got out of school. I was home for a while. Mrs. Hand, my speech teacher and stuff like that, Mrs. Lane and so on, was all retiring. And they just, when they retired, it was time for us to go home for the summer. And I had a great summer school session when I went with Mrs. Richard. I thought she was pretty cool. And those were just good times. We had a great summer school session. We went to the beach on Fridays, field trips every Thursday. 2003 was actually a very good year for me. I kind of like 2003. And the last Pajama Sammy came out, and that's the last good year of like humongous entertainment. I didn't play anymore after that. Really, but 2003 was still, to me, a good year. Pretty good year, even though it wasn't as great from 95 through 2002, but still, it was still a pretty good year. Those years, the years before, were perfect to me. 2000, but 2000, when I got back to school, after the summer was over and I went back to school that year, I still had a great birthday. I remember my 8th birthday. Everyone was clapping and cheering for me on my 8th birthday, like for my 8th birthday party at school. But I was very shy and it put me in a bad mood. I also went home with a fever that day, which was kind of suckish, but I got better by the evening. And my whole family came over for my birthday, and we celebrated. I loved all the stuff that was coming out on TV at the time, and the entertainment that was coming, and the music and everything, the entertainment that was coming out at the time. The music I was developing for the first 2000s decade, even though it was doing since 2000. The Harry Potter trilogy was getting good, which is on now. Of course, the first Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows, but then like there was also, but at the time there was Prisoner of Azkaban. But there was like, I was getting used to the school district. I loved the holiday season that came up. Thanksgiving, I had Thanksgiving food, turkey, and stuff like that. Stuffing, everything. 2002, 2003 is when I started eating more real food, and I ate a lot more between that time period. 2003 was pretty good. It was a pretty good year for. Yeah, 2003 was a pretty good year for me. I loved trick-or-treating on Halloween that year. My birthday, everything. 2004 was actually even better, though. I went to Walt Disney World that April, and we went to Universal. I saw Nickelodeon Studios there. I think I went in. I'm not really sure, but I don't remember going in there too long. I chose the park rides and stuff. We had like great food there. I went to the pool that was and jumped in with some of the other kids in Florida. When in that retirement home where my grandpa and his girlfriend Chris were sleeping. Grandpa was there. He came next month in May. And back when we got back home. But 2004 was just great. I had a great summer. It wasn't as many kids as the summer before, but hey, 2004 was actually like, still had a great summer. We played outside. We played in the gym. I remember slam dunking a basketball in the hoop. And I remember stuff coming out like Even Stevens, That's So Raven, um, Sister Sister. Well, that was actually a '90s show, but they repeated it on Disney Channel. They actually Nickelodeon had like Drake and Josh come in. I remember when they said coming soon to Nickelodeon, Drake and Josh. And they had other shows too. Cartoon Network's developed a lot more by then. And you know, 2004 was even better. Like just so much better. A lot of great memories. The stuff that we watched, with the events in our school district, homecoming, March Madness, Jump Rope for Heart. I remember Jump Rope for Heart. I loved Jump Rope for Heart. Kids Bop 5 came out. I loved Kids Bop 5, Kids Bop 6 and 7. Between then and 2005. 2005 was even better. I remember Cartoon Network was at its best, and Nickelodeon had a great year, and Disney had a great year. Channel had a great year. It was just House of Mouse. Even on Saturday morning kids cartoon blocks. Sonic X, Mucha Lucha on Kids WB. Fox Kids kind of ended in 2002, and I kind of watched some Fox Kids, but I didn't watch it that often. But I didn't watch it that often. And there was like other Saturday morning kids cartoon blocks as well. So video games, I got my PS2, and my friend had David Skellinger had Nintendo GameCube. I still hung out with him. We played video games and stuff. Well, also I played sports. We played in the inflatable pool in my backyard. I remember having an inflatable pool, playing music. We have relatives come over, go to their houses and stuff like that. But playing music, family event, friendship. So I developed. I actually always loved my friends. I loved everybody. I love everybody on this earth, by the way. And 2004 and 2005 was a great year. I remember summer school, even though I had some very bad moments. But hey, you know, what the heck? Those are in the past. And you know, I remember like 2005 was just a great year. I got out of elementary school finally. Jimmy Timmy Power Hour was on all the time in the spring. It was a mix of like Jimmy Neutron and Fairly Odd Parents mixed together, swapping TV shows and stuff. My sister came along in 2005. She was born on January 30th. It's almost her birthday in about another month. Happy birthday, my sister early. Happy birthday to my sister early, Tim Motyka. I remember getting off the bus. She was born. I was a big brother. Finally, congratulations to both of us. My parents and me. My Uncle Rob took me back to his house. And we kind of like talked, and we just... And that was 2005. I remember the first time I watched Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, the full Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I loved it that Thanksgiving. I still had a great Halloween that fall, and my birthday was successful. We went to Six Flags. I remember going to Hershey Park, and I went on a lot of good rides and stuff. I did many theme parks when I was real little as well. Like I said before, I don't remember everything, and I'm not going to mention everything. But I just remember going to like many theme parks and staying in many hotels and stuff like that. Good times. I went to stay in a Holiday Inn hotel, and I jumped in the swimming pool and stuff like that was there. I kind of like, and you know, like, and 2006 was very similar to the beginning of 2005. I still had like memories of like, well, 05. Before I get to that, I'm gonna actually read something in 05. My grandpa and I actually went swimming in Aunt pool in the lake on Millstone Brook Road. That's like right off of North Sea somewhere. It's in North Sea actually. We would actually like do things with my dad. Like I remember back in 2002. I'm just gonna bring up. I actually one time called the police. the police, and I actually hung up, and they called back to my grandpa, and he said that was my grandson who called because they complained about it. He said it was little kids do that, and I got in trouble with my parents that evening. But that was 2002. I'm right now. I'm on 2005. But 2005 was actually just a great year. Went to several theme parks and stuff like that. 2006 was actually pretty good year. Even though I have many bad moments in my 5th grade year from 05 through 06, I still had a great time. And Miss Bonner used to race me to the exit sign under the bus circle in middle school during my 5th grade year, and I kept winning most of the time. And the summer school we actually had a severe thunderstorm ruin one of our beach days, but we still had plenty of other good ones. We actually had some fun in my summer school years. We played outside. I remember going to some of the local events, and I watched a lot of competition shows that year in 06 with my grandpa and Chris. And those were the best of memories of 06. I wasn't too fond with the beginning of the school year. It wasn't really that great. And some things, and Mrs. Bonner kind of got more serious about the race into the exit sign, and at times she would beat me with daiquiri recur, and I had to get more serious about it. And a lot of things during my stage with puberty, with liking girls and stuff and guys. We were supposed to be doing some modern and ballroom dancing in the gym one time, and I got upset about that. And Thanksgiving we were at home that year, and it was still a decent birthday and Halloween that year, but Thanksgiving, we were at home that year for Thanksgiving. It was just the 4 of us. The holidays were okay. They were decent holiday season. It was a decent holiday season that year. And at the beginning of 2007 wasn't that great at first. It was the same thing. I was worried throughout throughout the winter through the spring. It was just, and I was far beyond past. Even though I was reuniting with my friend Mark Rayner, I was far beyond past my friend David for quite a while, since 2005. But that was this holiday season of 2005 was when the last time I saw my friend David for quite a while at the time. But you want to know something? 2006 and 2007, it ended. The ending of 06 and early to mid 2007 wasn't that all that great. It wasn't really the best. It just I had fears of people beat me to the stop sign. Everyone was turning again. The teachers kept on getting pissed off with me for many different reasons during the 6th grade year. But the ending through the summer was from the middle to the end of the school year through the summer was actually great. I spent time with family and friends and venturing with my grandpa and my other relatives and spent time with my mom and dad and my sister. And at that point, she was around 2 years old. I remember some of the shows that were out for preschoolers, from 05 through 07 on Noggin and Nick Jr. I watched it with my sister because I was a little bit old for them. But I liked some of them like Lazy Town and Ubi and stuff like that. And Jack's Big Music Show and Blue's Clues and Dora and Cinco Diego Go and stuff like that. Max and Ruby, and I remember some of the toys I got. I liked the movies like How to Eat Fried Worms. I remember seeing it in the summer of 06 and seeing Charlie and the Chocolate Factory the year before in the summer of 05. Those were some great memory. But 2007 had a much better summer than ever. And I would actually be more religious and spiritual. My relatives, we would take a siesta, me and my grandpa. And I was 11 years old at the time. Good summers, good times. Now, after he was done I think he came back for my birthday either the year before or that year in 2007 for my birthday. But then he went back, straight back. I had a good birthday at Great Wolf Lodge, and I actually loved it. It was a water park with hotel with a little magic, with Harry Potter like magic game that went over the hotel, and I loved it there. Great 12th birthday. That was a great happy 12th birthday to me with my uncle Robbie and Lillian, and I had some, and I kind of like when I went back, I was kind of sad, but hey, you know, but and then I had a great Halloween. It was rough Halloween at first because some of the things were happening a lot that made me uncomfortable that day, and it made me misbehave, and I almost missed out on trick or treating. But hey, I still got to do trick or treating. I still got, even though I did my homework when I got home after by dinner time and stuff like that. And Thanksgiving was great. I remember it being so enthusiastic to see the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And I finally got to spend time at my Aunt Susie's house, and I had a great Thanksgiving with my cousins and everything like that. And I had a wonderful holiday season. We went to the Parade of Lights, the holiday specials, this winter holiday concert with my middle school and 7th grade class that year. But my grandpa died on Christmas in 2007 because he was very sick. And it wrecked my holiday season for me. But 2000, and just like how my Aunt Donna died in that summer, in the last week. But 2008, it was actually a lot better. I was still obsessed with the Macy's Parade because I love balloons so much and bouncy castles. 2007 and 2008, I went to many Ducks baseball games. I love baseball games. We had like March Madness events at school and stuff like that were very similar, and homecoming. I went to those as well in both those years. But in 2008, I actually from the winter, I went to like the events of like the school district. I did March Madness basketball game. I watched the basketball game and everything like that. The March Madness basketball game, and by an April break, we had a lot of like springtime events. I remember the week off, and my sister was picking my sister up. My mom was like picking my sister up from daycare and the elementary school. They were having the middle and high school kids doing jumping jacks, going 1, 2, 3, 2. 2008 was a pretty good year. I remember like the music and everything. The kids channels were starting to go a little bit downhill, but it was still watchable. In 07 through 09. But 2008 actually I remember listening to a lot of great music and plays and everything like that. Listening to I remember I actually got into adult content though, like TV shows. I didn't watch them as often, but I still did on internet YouTube videos and stuff. I just liked it, okay? I watched it in moderation, and I did not, get obsessed and too overwhelmed with it. And the summer was a pretty good summer. I went to the STAR program for the first time, and I had to get used to it because it was new to me. But I liked it. We did movie days, field trips on Wednesdays, and we did barbecues on Thursdays and with hamburgers and hot dogs. And we actually went to the beach on Fridays. And I was introduced with many other programs that we actually got along with there. Some people I got along with, and some I didn't. Some parts I didn't. Like in 07 through 08, I had many trouble with getting bullied at the kids in school, but at times, but not all the time. Oh, I hate stumbling over my words. I despise it. And 2008 was just great. It was a pretty good year. Yeah, and I had a surgery that December because of my leg. I messed something up in my leg, and I had to have surgery on it. So I was in the hospital for quite some time, and in December, almost a week at least, and then I was home for the holidays. But it sucked that I had to spend my holidays on crutches that year. 2008 was just it was a pretty good year. I lost my family got shorter though because I lost my cousin and other family members weren't well and couldn't make it out here. So my family social occasions got very small. But the summer was pretty good though. I rode I rode around the communities with my dad, took some rides with my dad. Hopefully and I actually went to Splish Splash a few times that year with my uncle Robin. Went to Camp Aquatic for the second time. First year was '07. It was a special needs camp. I didn't really like it there, unless we were doing like all the fun events. That's the only reason why I liked it was like the events that we did there, the fun activities. I didn't like the kids there. Many of the kids there or the counselors who I couldn't get along with. But the fun activities there were okay. Were pretty good. I got along with a few of the counselors, but not all of them. 2008, yes. And I looked up roller coasters and stuff and events, like kids' birthday parties and stuff. That's what happened to me in 2008. And I still had a good Halloween and a good birthday at Great Wolf Lodge again. Another great year at Great Wolf Lodge for my 13th birthday. I had a party at Concord Doors in Sag Harbor for my 13th. And that was just it. And the holiday season was good. Afterwards, 2009. 2009 actually came along and it was sort of boring at first. Like we went and did a few different things. I liked some of the music that was coming out in the winter and spring. The kids channels were actually starting to die a lot. Go downhill a lot. Entertainment was in general, the music, including music. And there was actually 2009 was actually like it was actually just my dad lost his job and there were things happening with my family, immediate family at least, that actually went crazy. They just couldn't get along that often afterwards. And my sister started to become a little bit of a brat at least. And we were going to go to Disney that March, but we had to cancel because of we just started dropping a lot of money and stuff. And but I still had like some of the events, like my cousin Tori's birthday party, and we actually had like March Madness again for the last time for me in 2009. 2009 was pretty good at first, but even though there was a lot of drama in my immediate family's house, in my parents' house I should say. It was raining all spring, couldn't do much, but we had some events in April and May. I did the Special Olympics. I went to the Special Olympics. I didn't really want to do it, but I liked seeing it happen. I reunited with my friend David, and we were actually going, and I found out we were going to meet back together. Like, we were going to reunite back in the same school district by that next fall. Sorry, I'm just stumbling like a child. And it was decent. I really didn't like. I mean, I liked some. There were some things I liked. 2009 had its ups and downs. I finished the school year. I got bullied a little bit that year as well, and rejected and stuff. and left out certain things. Some people didn't want anything to do with me. It wasn't, but what happened to me in elementary and middle school pretty much didn't really happen as bad as it happened in high school. And that summer, I really learned to actually pursue my dreams. I actually learned that many dreams can come true as long as you try hard. By watching High School Musical and Camp Rock, that was a fad at the time that was already fading away by the summer of 2009. But also, I was into Green Day and Michael Jackson because he died that year. We had many Michael Jackson events. We had some High School Musical and Green Day material to it. We had some other events like in the summer of 2009 with summer school and STAR program and SYA and stuff like that. Last time many of our school districts were completely all together, by the way, and it was bigger at the time and everything. But that's just it. And we actually had some barbecues and bouncy castles and everything like that year. Went to the carnival, spent some time with my friends and some family. Had my cousin Anthony's 7th birthday party. You know, good year. Decent to like pretty okay, good year, sort of. It was a successful summer. I actually went to Splish Splash numerous times that year. But and it was pretty good. It was at times the summer was pretty good. So by the ending of summer that year, it was starting to fade away because a lot of things were happening with my immediate family and stuff. Everything was pretty much over and closing for that year. I went back to then I started high school. You know, it was just like, it was okay. I helped out with the football team a little bit. I took a sign language class and stuff. I was hoping to like do some bigger gen ed classes, but people denied because of my behavior and stuff like that, because of my autism and everything like that. Autism, yep. And you know, I kind of like knew that I had autism, and as well as my bisexuality, like all the whole time. And some people didn't like me because of it. Some people accepted it and everything. But back to the topic, it was just because of how I behaved. People actually questioned if I really should do anything outside the special ed life skills class. And my parents told me I wasn't really quite ready for it yet, and it really annoyed me. And after a while, I got very impatient. I started hating my own people, and you know, even worse, I got more deeper into the South Park stage that started. South Park was just, and it was bad for me. It's one of the worst shows to watch. I obsessed over it, and you know, it's just, it got really bad. It just, my stage made me a really bad person in the heart. I had another surgery that November, which would, it wasn't as severe as the first one, but for my hip. But you know, it was still, I'd be on crutches over the holidays. But I had a great 14th birthday though. It was incredible. They played Happy Birthday to me in the gym and everything like that. Halloween was good. I was a rock star that Halloween. Thanksgiving was pretty good. And had more sports teams and everything that year on Thanksgiving in 2009. The holiday season was pretty good. I loved the holiday season. I went to many of the events. I got more creative with my stories more than ever. Because that year, I knew that I could probably pursue my dreams as long as I tried very hard. And accomplish my goals and stuff like that. As long as I tried very hard, I would probably just... you can do anything. And that's how great it... And, you know... Even though it was just an okay year, 2009, like, economically, my family's matters kind of went down. It was not a lot to do. So at times, 2009 was bad. The ending of 2009 was bad, mostly. 2000 and stuff like that. I still went to, like, the water park and possibly the amusement park and the carnivals, and and the events and made the Lawn Ducks baseball games that year. But afterwards, it just went downhill. It just went that. I mean, things. I wouldn't say everything went downhill, but it was just great. It was like at times it was back and forth. It was good. Other times it was bad. Other times it was good. It was just back and forth, good and bad ending of 2009. 2010, the whole year was bad. I actually went to summer school that year, and my teachers, it was my same freshman year teachers, for my special ed skills teachers for my freshman year. They didn't make it that fun that summer. Things with my family just went out of control. We went into Disney that year, but it was kind of ruined by how everyone was acting and everything like that. Wrecked the Disney trip. And this is another thing. I think my dad started having medical health issues and stuff. That also and stuff like that. And that's just it. Sorry, I thought I heard something. Then, and my dad was very cranky most of the time. My mom's personality changed. It was just me and my sister at home. It was just home, and I didn't want to play with her. I was miserable because of all the things that people were treating me and my people for my disability and sexual orientation and my interests. I started getting nostalgic at times for my childhood. I wanted to bring them back. Fighting with my family over the chores and stuff like that. And it wasn't just teenage hormones. It was like there was something about that made me like a prejudice and everything that just made me misbehave more often. That it just became very unnatural of behaviors, very unhealthy, dangerously unhealthy, unnatural teen behaviors. More of on the unnatural side. That summer was just boring. I got a job at the STAR program, but it was just not as. But people just not. A lot of the kids there didn't really like me that much. I was too shy. I was a shy coward at the time. People denied me keeping my job and staying home by myself and doing big giant classes and after school activities and stuff. I wanted to stay home by myself. I couldn't. My friend David moved back to Pearson High School, and it was just 2010 was just a crap year for me. I was just home all the time, and I just got into trouble more often with the school at home, and sometimes even with the law because I had things with trespassing and copyright and stuff like that. I actually got in trouble for trespassing several times that year. And possibly loitering. And I would tell people what to do when I didn't like something and what I think and everything like that. And my parents would boss me saying like stuff like I had no right to and everything like that. Blah de blah. I know I didn't, but I think it's bad. I'm just trying to tell them the best information to give them good wisdom because I care very deeply what's best for everybody. And my birthday was ruined when I went back to school that year. It was just because my friends were not being very nice to me, and my teachers were defending them. It was just BS. It was just tons of BS happening to me that year. It was just crap. And Halloween, my dad got a speeding ticket, and we couldn't stay out long. Thanksgiving felt like it didn't even happen. The holidays felt like they didn't even happen. We couldn't even do it that year which broke our tradition. I did not like 2010 one bit, especially when our entertainment went very far downhill, and the kids channels were not in a good state, and the music was not in a good state for me, and everything. I hated 2010. 2011, it didn't get any better. I got bullied and rejected more often. My friends got more credit, and family members got more credit, and everything like that. I was compared to by many people. Some people didn't want anything to do with me. I got in arguments and fights with my teachers. I started having my prejudice moments in my South Park stage, using South Park for my moral wisdom. Embarrassed myself numerous times. People even encouraged to get me arrested in 2011. People hated me. That I was hated very much. I got into trouble for dumb reasons. I went to my Aunt Margaret's that April because I actually liked being. I actually liked being with. I could use the time away from the town, but 2011 was just more drama, more health issues with certain family members and stuff. According to what I think, as far as I know, 2011 was just bull crap. I'm glad the school year ended, and I was left out of so many of the fun school events because of my disability and everything like that. People bashed me. People said I was going to go to hell because of my sexual orientation. A lot of people in the town, in the school district, they just hated me. And you know, when I went in that summer, it was very similar to the previous one. I hated 2011. The summer of 2011 was boring. It was people did not like me. I was a bad influence to some people. I just hated 2011. It wasn't all my fault even. People still took the bad guy side. Hurricane Irene came along, stuff like that. A few things that caused power outages. We were in the dark for several days.
Choose from 5 new books and get your favorite delivered to you.
Especially with Hurricane Irene. Things were not making it. That did not make anything better with how everyone was acting. 2012. Well, I shouldn't say. It was a decent birthday and Halloween and Thanksgiving. I was actually just. I actually got into trouble because I said and done something that was very terrible. I was becoming evil. I became more out of control because of my disability and stuff like that. And you know, I was just sick of it. I almost got myself into serious trouble between then and in the January of 2012. And you know, I had a decent holiday season, but I watched How the Grinch Stole Christmas one night, and I actually had a little bit of a change of heart, but I didn't change my South Park stage until 2012. And if you want to know that story, I suggest you watch my Heroic Change video. You know what I mean? 2011 was just pretty good. Wasn't that great. It wasn't really good at all. It was just terrible that year. It was just a terrible year. I hated 2011. 2012, it sucked at first, but I actually had like a change of heart by 2012. And again, you watch my Heroic Change if you want to know how that story happened, because I don't want this video to be any longer than it should be. It's already as long as it is. By March of 2012, I went back to the kid shows, and I actually was happy. I felt cured. I listened to my music. I actually took a little bit more bigger genetic classes than ever that year. I actually went to Bosie's the next year. I had a great spring, a wonderful summer. We went to many summer events. I did a lot of things with friends and family. 2012 was a great year. 2012 it started out not so great up into like a wonderful year. Even though I had plenty of bad times during the time period. I had this wonderful 17th birthday though. And I had a great Halloween and a Thanksgiving and a good Christmas. Even though, yes, Hurricane Sandy came along, it didn't get much of an effect of it except for being in the dark a few days. It came back on Halloween. Power came back on Halloween. It was over. And then 2013 came along. My talents were still People were still mistreating me like kids in school, but they were still. When I was about to show off my talents, and be more serious about my talents, I didn't have much talents, and people stopped me from doing the school talent show and events in March Madness and stuff like that year, and it was just I did not like 2013 at first, especially throughout the rest of the school year. I didn't have a good part in the ending of senior class events, and especially prom. That was pretty much the best time I had. I had out of all those times in the summer events of like my senior year of high school. I didn't have a big part in that either. And graduation, I was miserable. It made me feel like it was too late. I came back for another 4 years of high school and post grad, but it was still. But hey, what the heck? I actually went back to. I went to. I got better by the summer. It was a decent summer. I went to Splish Splash a couple times more often. I went to Split. I actually went to. Well, I did the STAR program. I think I did a better job that year than I did in 2010 or 2011, except for probably 2012. But 2012 and 2013, I actually just had a lot of like. I just had a lot of like good times during those 2 summers, 2012 and 2013. It was a decent summer and a good ending. I went to a Taking Back Sunday concert for my 18th birthday. It was a wonderful time. It was a blast. I had a good 18th birthday. A decent 18th birthday, even though there was a little bit of drama going on, but still. I had a pretty good Halloween, a wonderful Thanksgiving, a great holiday season, a Merry Christmas and holiday season, and Happy New Year. 2014, I did the school play of Grease, which was all pretty good. I loved Grease. I did the school play of Grease. I was a background greaser, and I did a few voiceovers, and that was it. And everyone was proud of me. Everyone from my graduating class of 2013 told me that, and I felt just so worried about myself. And I did some other things in the spring too, like April and May, and possibly June. I didn't do the June one, which is when like the cultural, like the Pops concert in the cultural center, because I thought it was kind of late by the time I actually suggested to join, but that summer it was a pretty good summer. I actually there's still some school drama going on in comparison, but I actually still went to Splish Splash. I still had good times with my friends. I started getting along with my friend Justin Brown, and it was just it. My friend Justin Brown was just replaced my friend David, since he just disappeared on me in 2014 and the past year or so. But me and Justin still got along pretty great. Justin Brown. We went back to school. My dad had a stroke, and it continued from September through October, but he came back in time for my birthday. He went to several doctors and physical therapy and stuff. I had a good 19th birthday. It was not as great as I expected it to be, but I had a decent Halloween with my friends. It was fun, even though I saw a video series called TV Stuck Now by Blue Luigi. I did not like it. I don't think it's because we're not kids anymore that the kids' channels aren't great nowadays. I think it's because of the quality level and how they're making them. But I still had a good Thanksgiving with my family and a great holiday season. I still have I love the holiday season. I love the holiday season. especially that year. 2014 was a great holiday season, and I watched a lot of great TV shows and stuff. 2015, I watched some great TV shows and everything like that. I got more active on social media. I think my career was actually launching. My entertainment career was already starting to launch, which was great. I think I did something in the winter or spring that year, but I actually remember going to like a few events in the spring, like especially with the Special Olympics. I sang and danced on stage, which was was awesome. I felt so great about myself at Special Olympics. I sang and danced on the stage, and I rocked the games. I rocked the events. But I lost my friend Michael Laffey at Bosie's because I was having a bad day, and I told him to get a life, and he wouldn't forgive me. He was my friend since 2013 when I started at Bosie's for computer graphic arts. But I still had some good times in 2015 for my computer graphic arts program. I got pulled out that year because we had to do I had to do some like community service things at school. I had a wonderful summer in 2015. A lot of successful events. Had to spend time with friends and family. Great. Went to Splish Splash several times and many 4th of July parade and fireworks show. Spectacular. Great summer. Spent time with Justin and Mark and with this new kid William Segura. Mark started to spend more time with him and everything like that. But it was just great. It was still a great summer. I swim out. Yep. I went swimming more often and everything. I went back to school, and it was good at first. I actually realized once again that you have to enjoy life as it is, no matter what comes in the way, and believe what you want to believe. It's your life. I had a great birthday that year, 20th birthday. Halloween was great. Great. Yep. I had a great Thanksgiving. Holiday season was great. But people were, especially during the summer, that they were actually judging my childhood nostalgia a little bit, and I did not like that one bit. I tried to tell them the truth, but they just didn't want to listen. Especially when the holiday season came along. But I still had a great holiday season, though, with my family and friends. After it was over, though, in 2016, people were starting to judge me more on it, my childhood nostalgia, which was bad. My former friends who became my enemies at Eastern Suffolk Bosie started getting me on social media quite a little bit. I think that's what happened. That's just a thing I think what happened. Mark started adopting me and more with William Segura, which was actually, and none of them wanted anything to do with me. My best friend, I think it was because of my sexual orientation, and he kind of it's a long story, but because of that with his religion at the First Presbyterian Church, he did not want to hang out with me anymore because of my sexual orientation. And I really think he didn't have a thing because of my disability either. Maybe because he didn't wanted to have a thing with me because of my disability or my sexual orientation or my interests. And it continued through the spring. I also tried to retest my talents once again, but people denied it because they think I didn't do too well. And yes, I was coming with a very harsh recovery of my.
I'll be right back.
Yes, this is 2016, by the way. This is people did not want me doing the school talent show or any of the school events or the community events, and even worse, my stories that I had all ready to go since 2012. I almost thought I had my stories almost all ready to go by 2015, 2016 in the spring. It was just knocked down by the copyright. When I learned about copyright and trademark, and I asked people who knew about it, including Mr. Jolly at school, he bashed me. He didn't like. He told me it wasn't good enough or original enough, and it just tore me apart. And I started worrying about that more often as well as everything else. I got really pissed about it. I hated, and especially with the political and religious bigotry against people's sexualities and differences and stuff. It just all summer it was like it actually annoyed me, and and I think I was in part of some other programs too that I got kicked out because of my behavior and stuff like that because of all the things that was bothering me. But it really just pissed me off. 2016, people did not treat me with respect. In some of the places I went, and it wasn't that interesting like 2015. That summer it was just bull crap. I'm glad the school year ended that year, but that summer wasn't that any better. It was just bull crap. Tons of bull crap happened to me in 2016. I was being re-questioned and things that I actually like doing involving childhood nostalgia in 2016 by the time school started and through the holiday season, and especially when I learned about street preachers in Westboro Baptist Church, and some people in person were doing that same thing to me. And 2016, I hated that year. It was just a crap year. And this year so far, and this year 2017, it was just a crummy year to begin with. It was just a continuance to a recovery of 2016. Maryhaven, I did not like being a part of, and I didn't think I was ready. They told me things that weren't really true, and my parents believed them, which is why I was immediately taken out of there. But I got my driver's permit though, and I was taught to drive throughout the rest of spring. And I just had a good spring that year. I had a good spring that year. I went to Walt Disney World and Universal. I got a video of me recording my Nickelodeon Studios. I'm gonna post that real soon. By the way, I really mean it. Good times at Walt Disney World. I saw a Star Wars show. Good time. Yep, with mostly kids pretend to be Jedis. I thought it was cool. Many live action shows. Good times at Walt Disney World. And it was back, but it was kind of sad that I had to come back home from it because it was back to reality. I had to worry about finishing school. And I did successfully finish high school, my last post-grad year. And yep, I'm finally out. I did my last year, possibly my last year at the STAR program. And we did a lot more outdoor water activities and stuff like that. And I actually went to a few summer events and everything like that. I got into some more trends like Angry Birds and stuff. 2017 was a much better year. Better summer. I got back into my games that I grew up with as a kid, and sorry about that. I'm stumbling again. And that's just it. I had a good great 22nd birthday. My 21st, I had a good 21st, by the way, in 2016. I had my first beer and stuff, but 22nd birthday, I did very well. I loved my 22nd birthday. I went out to eat. I spent time with my parents and my friend Mark. Once again, finally, my best friend Mark, I should say. I had a great Halloween with my friends, a great Thanksgiving with my family, and a great holiday season with my friends and family. And I'm part of the DDI program now since this fall, and now I have my job at Walgreens, and I'm there without a job coach. I'm getting paid, And now, so we're going into the new year of 2018. Oh man, I'm sorry it took so much time. It's about an hour now. Been about an hour now. But you want to know something? I'm glad that I took the time to share with you all these memories. I'm just telling you that 1995 through 2002 were like the best years of my life, and how many great things were happening that year for me, and all the stuff that was on TV, all the music, all the stuff that was popular, all my friends and time with my friends and all and family members and stuff. Just a happy time for me.
They're not.
Yeah, I had hardly any BS happening to me that year, during those years, from '95 through '02. I guess BS happens to me every year, even during those years. But that was like the little. I had like the least amount of them, of bad times during those years from '95 through '02. You know, just everybody has BS happening to them every year. But it wasn't as bad as some of the years to come, as the much later years to come. Like 2009 BS was happening to me. 2000 like 2010 BS was happening to me in 2011. That BS was happening to me in 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, even 2016. It's indeed, and sometimes even this year in 2017. But you know, it's just. But other than that, yes. But BS happens to me at times every year, and I had great memories even of these past several years and everything like that. But it's just that '95 through '02 were like to me were like the best years of my life. I'm gonna try to make a list this year, also of the things that I loved during those years, and even a list that I like during this year as well, 2018. So this is like the New Year's Eve. I hope you guys watch the ball drop in like a few hours. I hope you. I wish you all a very happy New Year, and I hope you party with your friends and family tonight on New Year's Eve. We're all have already packed, if not are packing our stuff, holiday stuff away. The holiday season's officially over, and I wish you, and I hope you had a great wonderful, a Merry Christmas, and a very happy holiday season. And get ready, and I wish you all now a Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. This is Tim Motyka tuning off, and I'll see you on the wild side.